Alright, Memorandum number 11-2, Headquarters Department of the Army, Washington, D.C., 1st of December 1981, Army Programs Consultation with State and Local Officials. 1. The purpose. This memorandum prescribes a staff responsibility procedure for consulting with the state and local officials when planning and developing federal policies and programs. 2. Consultation policy. The DEA policy has been involved with the state and local officials developing policy, budget, priorities, programs. When possible, these officials should be consulted with significant state or local impact is initiated. The officials consulted with should be experts in subject area. B. The assistance of the state local officials should be requested early in the development of the program proposal. The description of the consultation will be included with the proposal. C. The Office of Secretary of Defense is qualified with the consultation requirement. It is a national security concerns or congressional sensitivities prelude earlier discussions with state and local officials. These decisions may be made with consultation if it is appropriate. 5. Responsibilities. Army Staff Agency will determine whether the major policy budget reorganization purpose have a potential significant state and local impact. These determinations will be made within staff actions on the proposal development. They will be made as follows. Coordinated with the MACOM active involved determining with the possible problem and state and local impact. Coordinate with Chief Legislative Liaison, CLL, to determine the congressional constraints of the industry interests. Coordinate with Deputy Chief of Staff Operations and Plans to determine national security concerns, if any. Coordinate with the Chief in Public Area Affairs to determine public affairs and considerations. To determine if there is an impact where there any consultation of state and local officials is appropriate or not. A. If the consultation is appropriate for the guidelines of the major MACOM activities involved, may given the guidance of the MACOM, coordinate with the Chief Public Affairs and the Chief Legislative Liaison and the Deputy Chief Staff of Operations and Plans, the Army Management Division Office of Chief of Staff, or OCSA, is in guidance approved by inform the Major Com activities of Headquarters Department of Army as no objection. Consultation as early as possible. Emphasize the description consultation needs to be included with the Headquarters Department of Army proposal. B. The consultation is not appropriate if formed in Major Com activity documentation rationale for the future. References. Chief Public Affairs will review the questions regarding the property of the early constellation because of the local public and news media's interest and sensitivities. Headquarters Department of Army proposal related to activities initiated with the Major Com activities. 2. Coordinate these rules with the Congressional Legislative Liaison appropriate with the Army Staff Secretarial Agencies, Army Management and OSCS, or Office of Chief of Staff of the Army. Chief Legislative Liaison review Army Staff proposal will determine congressional constraint issuance, recommending the suitability of early consultation with the state and local officials. The Deputy Chief of Staff Operations and Plans will review the Army Staff proposal to determine the national security concerns recommended and will inappropriate the early consultation of state and local officials not take place. Review the directives. Proponents of the Army Regulation Memorandums of the directives will be reviewed the publication when needed, including and implemented the guidance of the DASDMA by order of the Secretary of Army Robert M. Joyce, Brigade General, United States Army Adjutant General, and E.C. Mayer, the General United States Army Chief of Staff, Distribution Headquarters Department of Army.